Streaming on Twitch. Waiting for the stream to happen so I can make sure it's working. And my upload bandwidth seems to be okay. The download is... Alright, well I can't see it, but Wildcard says they can see it. So, maybe
if you can't trust Wildcard, who can you trust?
Right? I'm going to refresh the Twitch page. And there I am. There we go. All right.
I wasn't worried at all.
Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
Hey, we have Steve Goodie in the house!
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Steve. And we will have a pre-recorded interview with Joe J. Thomas coming up later in the show. Just to give everybody a heads up who's watching on the stream and everything, my bandwidth has been sucking today, and download, not just upload. Stream seems to be stable for the moment. I got 1100K going, and it seems to be holding steady. But at any moment, it could just drop to zero. So, gonna be a fun night, I'm sure of it. All right, welcome to episode 719 of the Funny Music Podcast for March 28th, 2024. The title of this week's episode is An Important Seed. For reasons. I'm sure there are reasons somewhere, but that's what the randomizer
I'm sure that's somebody's Wi-Fi password.
It probably is. All right, let's do the catch-up thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey!
What?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Oh, let me see. I went to see the film Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. Thank you very much.
I want to see that.
I'm not gonna say anything else just because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But I thought it was a delight and wonderful, and had lots of things that I want in a Ghostbusters sequel that actually has the Ghostbusters in it for the majority of the film. I mean, I love the new characters too from Afterlife, but yeah, it's I dug it. Anyway, just working every day. My family is planning a trip to England. So that we can all go to my brother's place, and my brother and his and their son Bodie. They live in Norwich, but so we're gonna all fly out to London, be there for like 4 or 5 days, then go to Norwich for 4 or 5 days, and then Kalani and I are going to pop over to Paris so that we can go to Disneyland Paris for a few days and then come back. So it's
that's why grown-ups go to Paris.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like. So my original plan back before I had a girlfriend and we were talking about going on this trip was that I was just going to go over by myself, just take the channel over, get there and just basically be there for a day. I didn't realize that they actually have 2 gates. There's 2 parks in Disneyland Paris now. There's Disneyland Paris and then there's Disney Hollywood Studios. So they kind of have, stuff split up there. So it probably would make more sense to do it for 2 days. But then, of course, Kalani is like, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower. I want to go to the Louvre. I want to blah, blah. And, generally speaking, I just don't care about French culture.
Wow.
I know that makes me uncultured American or whatever, but I'm way more interested in England than I am in France. So, but she wants to go to the other things, so we'll go do the other things. But I just mainly viewed it, back in my original plan as I never really have the time or the money or the whatever to get all the way out here, and I would like to hit that park at least once in my lifetime just so I can have been there and experienced it, because a bunch of the a bunch of the what am I trying to say here? Like they have like Space Mountain and they have their version of Haunted Mansion, but their Space Mountain and their Haunted Mansion are different than the ones in Disney World and the ones in Disneyland. It's like different parks all over the world have different versions, and they're from what I've heard, like from people who've ridden all of the versions of Space Mountain, they say the one in France is the best Space Mountain.
Oh,
so
neat.
it's like,
See, you could just replace Space Mountain with Art Museum, and then you'd sound like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have the Louvre, and it's supposed to be kind of special.
Yep.
Fireblast Studios in the chat says occasionally they have Emperor's New Groove characters at the Paris parks.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I know this was like years ago, but I know at some point they actually had. I mean, they have it in America. They had people like in a Roger Rabbit costume, but in France they actually had a Jessica Rabbit person out there, and it was basically they didn't do like. It wasn't like Mrs. Incredible where like she was like in a full suit with the head mask. It was like her regular body, but then they made like just like a mask that just fit over the face so that it looked like the cartoony Jessica face. And it worked. It worked really well from the videos I saw. So
cool.
I have no idea if they're still doing that or not. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure that'll be fun. Oh, and the hotel we're staying at is it's one of the mid-level hotels, but it's called like the Marvel New York Hotel. So it's basically them making a hotel meant to replicate New York. By the way, I haven't been to New York City either yet in my life.
Really?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You came out for something, because I remember you asked me where to go eat, and I said go outside and make a left. You'll find something.
Well, no, I went to what was it? Icon. That's the convention.
You went to Icon. That was on Long Island. There was something else you came out to New York City for. No, I remember it.
I think whatever. There was Connecticon. That was
that was in Connecticut. I don't think it was a convention.
Because the thing with Icon was, I'm in my head somehow, like my whole life, every so often I'll think two things are the same thing. Like I used to think David Byrne and David Lynch were the same person somehow, So I must have somehow thought Long Island and Staten Island were the same island. So when you're like, we're going to perform at Icon in Long Island, that's when I was like, I'm finally going to get to go to New York City. And then I show up at Icon, I'm like, this does not seem like New York at all.
And we're going to get you a Staten Island iced tea, buddy.
Yeah. So, anyway, but yeah, so we're going to stay at that Marble Hotel, which looks like it's going to be really super cool, and yeah, whatever. So the point is that we bought our plane tickets and we made the reservation at the park, and my family made reservations for the Airbnbs we're staying at in London and in Norwich. So it's like the thing is actually happening. Woo!
Yay.
I'm going to get in so much debt in my credit cards.
Yay!
But my mom's 74 and she's of sound mind and body and is able to do things. So if she wants the whole family to go to London, we're all going to go to London, So anyway, and I'm immediately at the moment, as I was up and down a bit ago, I was finishing up packing for WonderCon, which is the convention in Anaheim, right next to Disneyland, because my life has a common theme. And it's the if you consider Anaheim the LA area, it's the LA area convention that's run by the people from San Diego Comic-Con. So it's basically, another event of theirs. And my girlfriend Kalani, basically ever since we started dating and started to be like a committed couple, she has been like vibrating with excitement about she's finally going to get to go to a comic book convention with a guy she's dating who actually likes Star Wars and is willing to dress up and cosplay and blah 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 blah. So like she came to visit me last week, like hanging out here at my apartment, and we basically spent 2.5 days running around the city and like buying the last components for all the costumes. Or I went to the storage unit to try on the Prohias costume to see if I could get into it, and I could not. I need to lose about 50 pounds to get back into that thing. But so since I can't be Prohias on Friday, instead I'm going to be Wreck-It Ralph, which I still had that costume from way back when. And she didn't even realize I had that. So as soon as she saw I had that, and we picked that as what I was going to wear. She immediately went online and found a Vanellope costume that she could order.
Oh, nice.
And get shipped to her on Amazon right away. So Friday will be Ralph and Vanellope, and then Saturday, which is the big day, I'm going to be dressed up as Luke Skywalker as he appeared on The Mandalorian, which is basically the same as Return of the Jedi, but he's wearing a cool black cloak, and stuff. So I have my lightsaber, I'll have my Grogu, I'll just be walking around with that, and that day she'll be dressing up as a just general Jedi robes type person. And then on Sunday, it like, gives me a little bit of like a, I don't want to do this vibe, but whatever, I'm going to do it because, I want to, make her fangirl dreams come true. I'm going to dress as Han Solo. Fine, there. Are you happy now? I'll be Han Solo so that she can dress as Princess Leia and, be there with her romantic interest guy, and we're Han and Leia and stuff and things. So, yeah. So the thing I do like about having the Han costume is that I could do a TikTok of the part in Grease Wars where it's Luke and Han singing back and forth at each other, and I could just have me and the two sides going back and forth as Luke and Han during that one part of the song. So,
can I tell you something, Luke? You are having the second best midlife crisis I've ever heard of.
What was the best one?
I can't tell you about that. I was sworn to secrecy.
Oh, okay.
This is really good.
So yeah, and then the other tidbit about the going to the convention is that just 2 or 3 days ago, looking through the list of all the stuff happening there, people do portfolio reviews, and it's mainly about people who are trying to get into the comic book drawing industry. But Kalani noticed there's actually 3 animation professionals that are doing a storyboard artist portfolio review.
Oh, nice.
And I read the thing to Kyle, and he actually has met one of those 3 people. So that person, I know, at least one of them I know knows Kyle, so therefore knows what Mighty Magiswords is. And they got some decent credits on them. One of them worked on Teen Titans Go, and I mean all of them. I mean, they've worked on stuff that certainly I've heard of. So that basically, and I posted about this on Facebook. It kind of immediately brought up the question. Well, wait a minute. How do you do a comic books, you can bring in your big books and show, here's drawings I've done. And, because that's how comic books work. How do you do a storyboard portfolio review if you're really trying to show your skills as a storyboard artist? Because it's a sequential thing, not like a 4-panel comic, like a 400-panel comic. It's how do you show that? So
bring your Cintiq and drop it down on the table.
So what I did, and in fact, if you want to see what it looks like, those of you listening, go to my website, luke.ski, and click on the button at the top that says gallery, etc. Basing it off of the template I had for MarsCon 2019 when I was the artist guest of honor, I basically made a bunch of 11 by 17 sized frames where I could kind of make little collages of 4 pages of my storyboard drawings from Magiswords, and then a whole bunch of other artwork I've done, another dozen pages full of images, all organized neatly. And I bought a big portfolio thing to put them in. And then I was up late last night doing part 2 of this, which was figuring out how to make PDFs of excerpts of 2 of the Magisword storyboards, and then one that was a compilation of story tests I've done for other studios, in things that would be less than 140 sheets of paper, so that I could send that off to Kinko's and have them print those up and then bind them together with like a spiral coil. So basically I have okay, I'm gonna bring my MacBook, I'm gonna bring my tablet, but in case the internet and technology in general fails me, I will have physical things I can show them, because they might just prefer that anyway. So it cost a bunch of money, and it took a lot of time, and I actually I'm gonna be I kind of want to do a reprint of the stuff from the 11 by 17 binder, because the printouts I initially made at Kinko's look a little bit pixelated, so I want to see if I can quickly redo a bunch of them and make them look nicer during the podcast, so I can pick them up on my way out to Anaheim, which I'll be heading out basically as soon as we get done here. So that's what I've been up to this week. What have you been up to this week?
Lots of stuff. I'll try to make this quick. I came to the conclusion a few years ago that I am basically Clark Griswold. And every time I try to do any type of like family vacation or event, it goes just like one of those movies. So last weekend we went skiing up to Vermont to visit my sister. And yeah, so it started like 2 weeks ago when we planned the trip. My oldest Connor said, I can't go, I have to work, and didn't even make an attempt to get the days off. So I was like, all right, fine. If you don't want to come, that's fine. So he didn't come. So then we were supposed to drive up on Friday, ski Saturday, and then come home Sunday morning. And then a few days before, my sister called me and said, hey, we're supposed to get like 2 feet of snow on Friday night. You probably don't want to be driving in that. So why don't you come up Saturday night? Because then by then the roads will be clear and everything will be fine. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea because I drive a Prius. So that was the plan. So Saturday here in New Jersey, we got torrential rains. And we left like Saturday afternoon, like around 3:30 or so, and driving through flooded roads and stuff. Once we got up to Albany, it switched over to ice and then snow. Apparently, the storm was either bigger than expected or moving slower than expected because it didn't stop snowing until about 8:30 on Saturday night. Meanwhile, I'm driving through roads that have been plowed, but not enough. So the highway was just, covered in snow. There were cars spun out all over the place, multiple accidents. We got off the highway in Troy to pick up Route 7, and Troy was basically closed. Like pretty much every road that I needed to take in Troy was closed, and I ended up getting routed by the police, around the city and then back to where I came to the entrance to the highway. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm getting back on the highway. So I got back on the highway, went north another couple of miles, got off onto back roads that had not been plowed but had been packed down nice and good by the cars. So there's 3 inches of snow on them. So long story short, we made it, and I was very, very happy with how my car performed in the snow, including on completely unpaved roads in 6 inches of fresh powder. Never had a problem. My sister's road was unpaved and unplowed and unpaved, so it was a dirt road with all kinds of ruts in it, and the Prius handled it like a champ, so I was very happy with that. So we go skiing on Sunday. We make one run, and then Darren is like, my ankles are killing me. There's something wrong with these boots. So we decided to take one more run to see if it would resolve itself or if he needed to get new boots. On the second run down, we split up, get down to the bottom of the hill. Darren disappears. I have no idea where he is. And I texting him. I'm like, just go to the shop and get new boots. And then I get a text from Jeremy saying, hey, my binding broke. I'm still on the mountain. Viria went down without me. And I was my brother-in-law, Viria. And I was like, okay. So Viria had to go back up and deal with him. Jeremy had to ski down the mountain on one ski because they lost the piece that broke off of the bindings. So there was no chance of
skiing on one
Yeah,
ski.
Exactly. But so then we were like, all right, let's just have lunch and regroup. And then after lunch, it was fantastic. The rest of the day was great skiing. But up until that point, it was like, I'm like, what the hell else is going to happen, Tuesday night, I did my first live stream here on Twitch over on the Devo Spice channel. Went okay. I think I had 7 people tune in, so big numbers, but that's about what I expected. And I discovered that rapping while facing my computer monitor here is distracting unless I'm looking at anything other than the lyrics. So like I pulled up, should have all of my songs in Google Docs. They should all be in the song lyrics folder. Not all of them are, it turns out, but whatever. They're easy enough to find. So I was pulling up the lyrics to even songs that I knew well, just so that I didn't get distracted by anything else that was on my computer screen. It was good. I can't do it next week because I'm going to be in North Carolina, but I may do another stream in 2 weeks on Tuesday night. So if you're interested in watching me sit here and rap at your face, you can tune into that. Had had an actual honest-to-God callback the other day from one of the auditions I sent in. We did it over Zoom. I met with the director and one of the producers, I think. Small project. It's a student film. It's a thesis project. But it's my first real callback, so I was excited. I will find out either like Sunday or Monday whether or not I got the role. And then last night I went to a film festival for the public premiere screening of Talk to the Hand at the Grove Film Festival in Jersey City, which was a lot of fun. It was very cool. People seemed to enjoy it. Got quite a few laughs. Biggest laugh I think probably came during the Gilbert Gottfried scene. So, so kudos on that. So it was a lot of fun. And I have another one coming up in May. I think it's the first weekend in May here in Sparta, New Jersey. So if anyone's in the area and wants to go to that one, look up the Fourth Wall Film Festival on filmfreeway.com. You can get tickets there. All right, that's enough blabbering out of me. What have you been up to, Steve?
Me? I'm getting ready to go on tour for 4 weeks, and that means a million things. The most fun thing was I got my lawnmower started. That was exciting. And then that was like a week ago. So since I'm leaving tomorrow, I thought mow the lawn today. So I got it started, and then as I pull, it's a riding mower, as you know.
Is that Murray?
I just happened to notice. Oh, no, it's one of Murray's successors. Murray died a while ago. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, gone but not forgotten. And I just happened to notice one of the tires, no air at all, just rolling around, just the wheels here and the tires there, and that's no good. And I was just all set to mow the lawn. So tomorrow I get to sort that out and making up songs and going to go do this Al show in as many living rooms as possible, including our friend Sulu's on Sunday, April 7th. And you're all invited. It's going to be nuts. She's got like 50 people coming to her house. I don't know how this is going to work.
Including me.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And my girlfriend, Kalani.
Also excellent. Wow. You're giving up Paris to come to my show. That's so sweet. You are a real adult.
Well, I can't afford to go to Memphis and Nashville and the Bluebird.
That's why I'm bringing it to you. That's right. With the banjo on my knee. That's about it.
When you started talking, I put your name up on the screen because I have like lower thirds that I do for people, and it filled the whole screen. I have no idea. Like, let me see what Luke's. Yeah, they're all doing that.
It's Steve.
Oh, mine looks
Steve's
good.
big dumb name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine looks good. Cubert looks good. Luke's is huge. I still have Craig's. Oh, his is good. Steve's is huge. What the hell? All right, let's delete that.
I never get tired of hearing that.
Let's make a new one out of Craig's. Yeah, there's Steve's name. Okay. All right. So give us a quick intro to the song. We will give it a listen.
All right. My friend Walter recorded a cover of the song "We're an American Band" by Grand Funk Railroad a while back, and I thought, what can we do with that involves an accordion? And there you go.
All right. Here is "We're a Canadian Band" by Steve Goodie.
Okay, maybe start with drums. Oh yeah, and cowbell. Nice. Oh, listen to that. Good job, buddy. Oh, Timothy rocking that tuba. That's some good tuba, Timothy. An accordion? You know, Timothy plus accordion, that's Tim Hortons. You know that's true. I'm not making that up. Do I sing now? Oh, not yet. Okay, you tell me when I'm supposed to sing. Okay, now? Okay. We got lots of snow and ice hockey, eh? We can sing in English and also Francais. Sweet, sweet maple syrup, we eat it like ketchup. We put it on everything. Oh, you betcha. Driving all night, driving all day, 'cause there's 4,000 kilometers between the places we play. We sure do like brewskis and a good curling fight. And we'd all move down to the USA, but we're too gosh darn polite. We're a Canadian band. We're a Canadian band. That's right, buddy. We're coming to your tune. We'll help you party doon. We're a Canadian band. Okay, more cowbell. Yeah, you really know your stuff. Good job, buddy. Now these young Canucks in Ottawa, they don't really mind that the winter is 10 months long. Feeling cold but looking hot, and apologizing a lot. Sorry. Hey, buddy, I like the rack on that moose you shot. So these fine ladies, they went down to Vancouver. They were 23, so we referred to them as cougars. They said, come on now, you fellers, let's get it on. And we proceeded to tear that Tim Hortons down. We're a Canadian band, straight out of Newfoundland. Each nose has frozen snot, and we like moose a lot. We're a Canadian band. We're a Canadian band. Yeah, go Leafs. We eat poutine with our hands. No need to be so lonely. Hop up on my Zamboni. We're a Canadian band. Take it away, Paul Schaefer on the accordion. Yeah, super job, buddy. Now, Alex. Canadian band. Yeah, we're famous. From British Columbia all the way to Prince Edward Island. Yeah, we sure do rehearse a lot. Wanna sound like ZZ Top. We're a Canadian band. We're a Canadian band. Hello, Celine Dion. We love our frozen wasteland. Yeah, and a bigger waistband. We're coming to your tune. We'll help you party doon. We're a Canadian band. We're a Canadian band. Oh yeah. We're a Canadian band. Oh, heck yeah. We're a Canadian band. Oh, ho, 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 you betcha. Is that the end? Okay. Super job, fellers.
So you wanted to do a parody of American Band with accordion, and you didn't come up with We're an Accordion Band?
Seemed too on the nose.
That's been
the
done.
The band Those Darn Accordions already did that.
Yeah, Those Darn Accordions did that.
Also, the main thing about that song is the tuba played by my friend Timothy Weber.
Oh, those are real tuba? Nice.
Real tuba, straight out of Ithaca, New York, I may add. And the term blow your brains out gets thrown around a lot, but when that guy plays tuba, that song goes pretty fast, and it doesn't stop. And man, he worked hard. When he just described what he did, I started hyperventilating just hearing about it.
Yeah, I can't imagine the tuba's an easy instrument to play.
Not an easy instrument. It's not easy to carry. It's not easy to polish. There's nothing easy. It has a spit valve the size of a bidet. It's not what you want in your house.
Yeah. Push that button, like the front row just gets soaked, you know.
Plus, I got to do my Bob and Doug McKenzie, so that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. What was I going to ask? Oh, so you're playing the accordion, and you seem to be getting quite good at it.
Why, thanks. I'm getting less bad at it, which is sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of what one might call chops, but just barely. I can work stuff out.
You can fumble your way.
You know how the studio is. The studio lets you do a little bit here and a little bit there and sew it all together. It sounds like you're brilliant.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the recording is very clean. Like I didn't catch anything bad on it. But yeah, it sounds great.
I did, and I got rid of it.
Yeah. Right. But like, what's it like learning a brand new instrument? You know, you're in your 50s, right?
For a little while longer, yeah.
Okay. Like, what's it like learning a brand new instrument at this point? Because like most people learn instruments when they're kids. Yeah,
well, I have a feeling accordion as an adult is a little bit easier than accordion as a kid because it's a heavy thing and there's quite a lot of physical effort while trying to do delicate things, and the reach on the buttons, little hands would have a harder time than bigger hands, I would think. But it's not a violin, it's not a wind instrument where you have to learn an actual skill to make tone. It's just push the buttons, and I play the piano fairly okay. So there was a lot to draw on, so it wasn't exactly starting from scratch.
Yeah.
That being said, the accordion is freaking impossible. So good luck. It's a stupid instrument to try to play at any age.
I played it once on one song years ago. I did a rap polka medley that was supposed to be for the original Weird Al tribute album, and it was rejected because it wasn't a cover of a Weird Al song. And I released it on...
The House Party Polka rules.
Yes, the House Party Polka. Luke's a big fan of it. I released it on the Sudden Death 10th anniversary tape. But like my friend Steve, who was Piles in Sudden Death, his father used to teach accordion lessons. So he had like a room in his house with like 35 accordions, and I was like,
see, that's too many.
Yeah. But like he had a whole class full of accordions, so and I was like,
I don't care why, it's still too many.
Like, can I borrow one of those for a song? And he was like, sure. So we went back to my place with it, and I knew how to, I can also sort of play keyboard, so I was like, okay, this is just a keyboard, it's just vertical, I can do that. Over here with these buttons, I have no idea what the hell's going on over here. So I didn't touch the left side of the accordion at all. I just did the right side things.
I had a permanently borrowed accordion for well on 25 years. My mother's boyfriend had this thing, and I think it was my mom's idea that he lend it to me so she wouldn't have to listen to it. That's just a theory. And I had this thing, and it was probably when it was new 70 years ago, it was a pretty good instrument, but it's a beginner's instrument, and it only made a couple of decent sounds, and one of the notes was horribly out of tune, and there's nothing I could do about it. But I started on that, just like you did. Every now and then I just pick it up, and I would just focus on the right hand. I would not bother with the buttons. But then when this whole Weird Al tribute thing came up, like, okay, I must learn to play the accordion at least 50% more like an accordion player than I'm doing now. So I figured out what the buttons do, and I've got a little bit of dexterity on 2 of the 6 rows.
All right.
And that's probably as far as I'm ever going to get.
Getting there. What do the buttons do anyway? Are they like chord buttons?
Well, so I'm glad you asked there, Tom. There are 6 rows. There's a total of 120 of them. So that would mean each row has how many buttons?
Was that 20? 20. Yeah.
6 rows of 20 buttons each. And if you're looking at it from the perspective of playing it, the top row is bass notes. The second row is also bass notes, but offset by a half step from the top row. And that allows you to do interesting things like, if you try it, you'll find them. Then the third row is major chords. If you press a button, it's a major chord that matches the button just above it in the upper row, the row just above it. So you got a bass and then a major chord, and just below that, minor chords, and just below that, seventh chords, and just below that, half diminished chords. And we ain't screwing around with that if we're me. I'll just do the bass on the left hand and the chord on the right hand as if it was a piano, and that's the best I probably will ever do. I can just barely cling to what I can do on that.
Yeah. That's more than
the Weird Al medley that I put together of 12 songs that I'd never planned to play on the accordion. That is a good exercise. I recommend that if you're trying to learn the accordion the way I play it, because it's got songs in just about every key. So you're going to figure out where those buttons are and get fairly dexterous with it, most likely.
That's cool. Are you going to keep going with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the goal for this tour is to do the show as many times as I can. I've got a couple bookings here in Nashville in late April and early May, including at Zany's new lab. Zany's Comedy Club has a little experimental lab they're just opening in a couple of weeks, and I'm one of the premier acts that's going to try something experimental there.
Nice.
And it's the craziest thing. It's
awesome.
The crazy. They're paying me.
Wow.
They don't know I don't know what I'm doing. Everywhere else I play, I have to beg people to let me play, and then it's my job to get people in there and get, would you please pay some money so that I can pay these? And these guys just said, okay, we're going to give you this much money, and then you get this much of the door. It's like, okay, I remember this from the 90s. That's how comedy clubs that are real comedy clubs work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good old days when musicians and comics were paid for their time.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
When a club takes a vested interest in promoting not just the act, but the brand that is their club, getting people to come in no matter who's performing is their job, not just the performer's job.
Right, yeah. That always bugged me
somewhere.
about these venues where it's like, yeah, you can play the gig, but we're going to give you, 30 tickets you have to sell. And I'm like, it's not my job to sell tickets. It's yours. You need to promote the show.
I can understand that giving me some incentive to get butts and seats makes sense.
Yeah,
Fine.
I get that.
But yeah, like you just said, it's hard enough to try and entertain. Isn't that enough of a job? that the other people can do the part where we get the victims, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Go to my website and look at my tour schedule. And if you're near any of the places where I'm playing in the next 4 weeks, come on out.
I'm about to
SteveGoodie.com.
announce the next 2 weeks worth of tour dates. So We'll do that in the news.
Okay.
All right, so I know you have to go take off, get ready for your tour. So good luck. Hope it goes
I
well.
got to do stuff. Thanks, guys.
Hey, before you go,
yeah,
I want to do this part of the show early because it was partially inspired by Steve. Because every week you ask for a theme for the Spotify playlist, and I actually thought of a theme this week. The theme will be songs that would piss off the Westboro Baptist Church.
And you thought of me.
Well, you did have your excellent song, Hey Fred Phelps.
Thanks.
I was listening to a podcast called Time Suck with Dan Cummins, and he started it in 2016. I've been listening to it, like I started at the beginning, and I'm somewhere in the middle of 2018 at this point. And he did it in each episode, like he finds a weird topic to talk about. Like sometimes it's, Bigfoot or, the Zodiac Killer or, whatever. And the lost books of the Bible, whatever. So he did an episode about the Westboro Baptist Church and how, just, the history of them and even more details on how horrible they are. And it was revealed, and again, this is from 2018. I had no idea this existed. Apparently, people at the Westboro Baptist Church make song parodies about the Westboro Baptist Church and, have a YouTube page or something, and they post them. And he played, 3 of them on the podcast, and they're just so, gut-sickeningly horrible. One was a parody of Michael Jackson's Bad that was called God is Mad. One was a parody of Pharrell's Happy, but they didn't even change the word happy. They were just singing about, how happy they are to be protesting and telling everybody how they're going to hell. And then the third one was a cappella, a Christmas song called Santa Claus Will Take You to Hell, and it's a whole a church with kids and stuff like that, all singing this song, and it's just bizarre as anything. So I just thought I thought that would make a good playlist topic, and I also had another thought: if the FuMP ever did anything that made them mad and got their attention to the point where they'd show up and protest at FuMP Fest or whatever. What would, because we've all seen their signs, God hates dead soldiers, God hates, the bad word for homosexual people. That's the rhetoric of all their signs. So if they protested the FuMP, what would their sign say? God hates comedy musicians.
Yes, exactly.
You're yes, thank you. Perfect. You nailed it.
So what you're saying is we're already members of the church.
In a way.
This is exciting.
I'm just saying that we already know know that we're damned and that we're going to hell. We're just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, no, they're making up songs about their church, and apparently we are too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, oh, God, it was sickening to hear those. So I don't recommend going to listen to them because I don't want them to get any more traffic. if such a thing is a thing. But, yeah, I just thought that would be a funny theme. Songs that would piss off the Westboro Baptist Church. Got to throw some Randy Rainbow in there for sure.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to help me brainstorm songs because I'm not coming up with anything other than Hey Fred Phelps.
If you can't think of anything else, then we can figure out.
Oh, I think I can name a couple of Nuclear Bubble Wrap songs that might fit there.
All right, I'll look
definitely.
Yeah, just browse that catalog for a moment.
Oh, wasn't there?
So anyway, I just wanted to say that before you left, Steve.
Okay.
I mean, thank you, Steve, for hold on a second. Wait.
Have you been tabulating?
Yeah. Because I thought of you earlier, and you planted an important seed in my head.
Oh, that reminds me. Hang on, before I go, I just happened to see something on Facebook, and I think you'll love this. Somebody posted a thing that says, "To be fair, a Bible signed by the Antichrist is a real collector's item." And then someone commented, "How many have you bought so far?" And then the original poster said 666.
Excellent.
Yeah.
An alternate punchline would be, "Buy him. I'm the one signing him."
We're doomed.
Yay, we're doomed.
Just doomed. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
I'm
Steve.
gonna run.
Catch you later.
Bye.
This is the FuMP.
I know I'm a dork, and I wanna sing something dumb all day. Yes, I do. Ow, I love parodies.
get your heart a-racing and always leave you satisfied if I can be your bacon.
But some things you can't have your way. Could you just let her watch her boyfriend play? You can't stand Swifties.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
For leave my brains, get me off this train. This really is a pain. Should've took a plane. Get me off this train.
Time for funny music news. Something. One of these days, we're going to have a FuMP album preview like that, where all of the songs are Steve Goodie.
Yeah, probably. It'll have to be one of the periods when he has like 3 or 4 songs on the album. We could just do it all Steve Goodie. All right, in the news, Ailstorm has a new EP out called Voyage of the Dead Marauder. It's a 5-song EP. The first 2 tracks are not funny, but they are really good. However, the last 3 are at least comical. The third track is a cover of The Last Saskatchewan Pirate by the Arrogant Worms, and it's amazing.
It is. Oh, it rocks so hard.
It does rock so hard. I emailed Trevor from the Arrogant Worms about it. I'm like, just to make sure he had heard about it, and he had not. So he was like, wow, this is definitely a rockin' version of that song. The 4th track is called Sea Shanty 2, which is a metal version of a song from the video game RuneScape. And then the fifth track is called simply Cock. Now, the story behind this one is there's a page on Reddit called Thomas the Plank Engine. And the premise of this page is that people create memes out of things that they've dreamed. Okay? So some guy posted that he had a dream that Ailstorm wrote a song called Cock, and the cover art was a leprechaun with giant boobs, and the chorus of the song was, "Hey, cock, and fuck your balls." So he posted this with the graphic. Somebody tagged the singer of Ailstorm in that post, who responded with, "I can make this happen," and like a week later posted a demo of the song. Now they have a new EP out. There is a full band version of Cock on the album. So I just love that story. I think it's amazing. And the song is very funny.
Get your full cock right here.
Yes. I played it on Manic Mondays last week, so
I love it when stuff like that happens.
yeah. Somebody posted in the comments like, "Yeah, this is prime fan interaction right here." All right, the FuMP
the internet wasn't.
Yeah. The FuMP documentary people now have an Instagram page. You can follow them at Love the FuMP Film on Instagram. So far, they've mostly posted behind-the-scenes photos, many of which were taken at FuMPFest last year, where they were there filming. They're Love the FuMP Film on Instagram. Starbomb tweeted
Is that the official title of the movie, or
I
what?
don't know. Might be.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
I mean, they could call the movie God Hates Comedy Musicians.
They could, yes.
But I left a comment on Instagram saying, because I didn't realize, they told me what it was, but I didn't mentally grasp the concept until I saw the images of like how it's like a 360-degree type image.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, we should shoot a music video where we're all like around it in a circle, like, singing or rapping or doing whatever,
That'd be cool. Be hard,
anyway.
But we could do it. Starbomb tweeted that they have a new album available soon, and the video is of a record, which implies that it's going to be available on vinyl, but no official word yet, and no other info, but there is a new Starbomb album coming soon.
Hooray!
And the FuMP newsletter for March went out the other day. If you're not on our mailing list, you can view it online at tiny.cc/FuMP0324 for March of 2024. Tiny.cc/FuMP0324, where I talk about the FuMP Volume 103, MarsCon wrap-ups, featured videos, and more. Did I talk about FuMP 103 on the news last week or the week before at all?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't think so.
So yeah, FuMP 103
you didn't, because
FuMP 103 is available in the store for anyone who wants it. I thought I had talked about it, man. I guess I didn't. So all the tracks from January and February on the FuMP, plus a video interview with Scooter Picnic. That would be Insane Ian and TV's Kyle, which was recorded at MarsCon. So you can pick that up in the store now at thefump.com, and payments are working again in the store, so you can buy it and you can give me money and I can send you a CD. All right, Luke, you got anything before tour dates?
No.
All right, tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goodie hosting at the Bluebird. On Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Wednesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 29th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 30th in Norman, Oklahoma, Steve Goodie. The 31st on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab, featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 30th in Norman, Oklahoma, Steve Goodie. The 30th in Muncie, Indiana, Mikey Mason. On the 1st in Watonga, Oklahoma, Steve Goodie. On the 2nd in Wheeler, Texas, Steve Goodie. On the 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada, Steve Goodie. On the 5th in Van Nuys, California, Steve Goodie. On the 5th in Livermore, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 6th in Los Angeles, California, Steve Goodie. And on the 7th in Chatsworth, California, Steve Goodie. So lots of Steve Goodie dates coming up for your Steve Goodie pleasure. Yay. Remember, Steve is huge. Birthdays coming up on March 30th. Michael William Hunter. Happy birthday, Michael. All right. Second song of the week is a new one by Joe J. Thomas, followed by roughly a 10-minute interview, I believe. Here is 7 Up.
My friends, give me some rum at a party. I keep trying to tell them I need Coca-Cola to get things started. And they answer that they ain't got that kind of stuff. I would like to use some mixer in my booze. They keep on giving me a little 7-Up. They give me 7-Up. My brother sit me right down with a bottle of gin. And he told me if I let it go to waste, it's a sin. And I'm sure he meant well. Yeah, but mama don't raise no fool. I said, brother, you look confused. I need some tonic to infuse. But he offered this excuse: a can of 7-Up. He gave me 7-Up. Sometimes I may imbibe a little too much alcohol. Y'all take me clubbing late at night, and my tummy is a butterfly free for all. But oh, maybe, ginger ale would soothe my stuff. I will not be amused When I open the fridge to choose, what I see gives me the blues. It's full of 7-Up. Just give me 7-Up. Talking about drinks that I won't use, I see cola and Mr. Pibb too. Don't you give me none of that stuff, and I sure don't want no 7-Up. Don't give me 7-Up. Don't want no 7-Up.
I'm here with Joe J. Thomas. Welcome back, Joe.
Hello, glad to be here.
So, as a non-drinker, I don't know what to think of this song. So, like, is 7-Up like a bad mixer, or is it just your personal preference that you don't like it?
It was more of a. It's not the stereotypical mixer for the drinks I'm mentioning.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
And I'm actually not a. It's interesting because the last song was a drink song. It was Starbucks, and then this song is about 7-Up. And I don't drink coffee. I don't drink like mixed drinks. So I'm write what you know, or just make it up.
Write what you know, or be like Joe. That should be the that should be the saying.
Or be like Joe. Write what you don't. Yeah, write what you don't know, because what I don't know is so much more interesting and larger than what I do know.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah, there's a lot more that I don't know than I know. There's so much more material there.
Yeah. Think about the possibilities.
Yeah, so I did pick up that it wasn't the usual.
So
mix.
I was going to make this a.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I said I was going to make this a part of a trilogy, but I got to song number 2, and then I decided that song number 3 should be something that I write myself, as opposed to usually I just do parodies of other people's songs. And I think I want to write something myself, which meant I needed to learn to write music and play piano. So the next one should be in about 5 years.
Okay. We'll look forward to it.
The long-awaited trilogy. I'm going to be just like Star Wars, 3-4 years between.
Well, it'll be worth the wait, I'm sure. So I did pick up that 7-Up is not the normal mixture for like a gin and tonic, because I know I have a friend who that's her go-to drink when we're out at a convention. So I was like, okay, gin and 7-Up. I have no idea what that would taste like, but I know it's not a gin and tonic.
Yeah, actually, that I used to a long time ago. I used to have the occasional gin and tonic, and what amazed me about it was tonic tastes horrible, gin tastes horrible, but somehow you put the two together, and it comes out like kind of a sweeter combination. And I don't know how that works chemically, but I would bet that if you put gin with 7-Up, it would not work correctly.
What is tonic? It's just tonic water, right? Or is that something
tonic
else?
Water? Yeah, it's got kind of it's tonic water, which I think it has kind of a salty taste by itself, and gin has this bitter taste. So you would think, hey, let's put something bitter with salty, and you don't get what you expect. It tastes completely different from what you expect.
It's carbonated water with quinine dissolved in it.
Oh, quinine. Okay, yeah, that's like I think Schweppes still does it. That formula. So,
okay.
you can have a mixed drink and prevent malaria at the same time.
Hey, fight your battles on two fronts. It works great.
I'm self-medicating in case there's malaria out there. Yeah. So yeah, these just kind of came to me as a drink series, and I haven't actually decided on the third one. Water's probably out because I can't. Aside from Kip Adada's song about fish, I can't imagine a water song about just water.
We have 2 of them on the FuMP. we have 2
look them up.
comedy songs on the FuMP about water. One of them is just called Water, and I think the other one is called Free Water. I mean, I'm just waiting for the site to load on my incredibly slow internet connection here.
Well, maybe I should pick a drink that I know nothing about, like methane.
There you go.
Liquid methane that some other life form drinks, and I'll just write a song about that. Completely out of.
So yeah, Redbox and the Chili Peppers did Free Water, and there's a few. Garden Fresh did Water. That's what I was thinking of. And then Matt Griffo did the Bottled Water Rag, and Steve Goodie did Black Water, which is the parody of Dark Water. So yeah, so you could be the 5th song on the FuMP about water if you want to go that route. We can make a whole special FuMP EP
7.
of just water songs.
the FuMP, the liquid edition.
Yes,
just make it all liquid.
Have a drink with the FuMP. Just all the songs about drinks that we have of some kind. Okay, so is there anything else going on with you that you're allowed to talk about?
No. It's just, the usual Joe's dumb thing. And I just wanted to point out I'm in the cafeteria, but I'm in Spain again, and this time we did something special. Usually I'm just suffering from jet lag, but this time we decided to go through daylight savings time in the US, then jet lag, and then this coming weekend is daylight savings time here. So I can be perpetually tired for an entire month.
Wow, that's going to be
good planning.
Yeah, that's got to be something to experience. Do not envy you that.
Yeah. So aside from that, happy Easter. And
you too.
I hope you and yours have a good egg tossing, chocolate driven thing going on.
There will be lots of chocolate. I will ensure of that. I'm a total chocoholic, and even without Easter, I'm just chocolate. And have you tried the cookie dough Twix? It's really good.
No, we went to some fancy chocolate store, and my wife is like, "Oh, let's try this 75% with sea salt and this frambuesa one," and they're these little bars, and I'm over here looking at, can I have the chocolate egg that has Lego pieces stuck on it? She's like, yeah, that's yours. You can have that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like the fancy stuff. I mean, I do, but I like the cheap stuff better.
Yeah, I tend to go for the cheapies.
And I'm really enjoying some of the new M&M concoctions they're coming up with, like the fudge brownie and the pretzel. And the mint one was really good, but I think they may have stopped making that because I didn't.
Oh yeah, I love mint and chocolate. Yeah, the mint. They here they have these, Lindt, Lindt, great name for chocolate, Lindt. They make these little balls, and in the U.S. they have like the usual flavors, strawberry and chocolate and dark chocolate. Here they have all sorts of flavors. They have like mango and mint and salted caramel, and they're really good. And so we usually get like a bag or 2 of those, and they give you a discount if you buy a kilo or more.
Nice. All right, so you can get like a whole like Santa Claus bag, of chocolate.
Yeah. Usually, I threw my shoulder out lugging a suitcase full of chocolate back for people in the U.S.
You had to declare that at customs, right?
Chocolate injury. my chocolate injury.
When we came back from Europe when I was a kid, we were going through customs, and we had spent 2 weeks in Belgium and then visited a whole bunch of rest of Europe, and we're coming back through customs, and the guy goes, "Anything to declare?" And my mother goes, "No," and my father goes, "Oh, the chocolate," and she goes, "Oh, right, 6 pounds of chocolate." The guy was like, 6 pounds, okay.
They're like, yeah, we know, we don't care.
Yeah,
go just take that.
It's fine. It's not like chocolate carries disease. You're allowed to bring that into the country.
Yeah, chocolate's okay. Yeah, I didn't smuggle any endangered birds in my pants or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past you, but you never know.
Now, that's not saying I don't occasionally put endangered birds in my pants. I just don't smuggle them.
Okay, you know where to draw the line. That's good.
Yeah, in private, public.
All right. So, anything you'd like to plug?
No, I'm good. Joe's Dump. Visit, like, post, whatever. No, you can't post. Only I can post. So I will post.
Probably for the best. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Recording stopped.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Hey, log!
Oh my god, it's you, not again!
Hey, Log wrote, congrats on the voice work you're getting, Devo. Remind me to hit you up whenever I need an audition. You might come in handy for some Walla in Comics dub I'm working on. Sure, be happy to help. I'm not getting a ton of work, but I did get a couple of things. But most of the stuff I'm applying for is not voiceover work. It's just live action acting work. But I have been applying for a couple of voice gigs too. All right, that's all the feedback we got. So,
I was going to say, if the Westboro idea doesn't work, you could always have water.
Sorry. Do what?
I was going to say, if the Westboro theme doesn't work out, you could always do water as your theme for the
could do that
for the playlist.
All right. I did like your Who's on First idea. So I might do one of those. I don't know that there's enough songs that I mean, there are lots of songs that would piss off the Westboro Baptist Church. I'm sure of that. I'm just not sure which ones would be specifically geared towards that. All right. Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Paul Wensley. And Tuesday's song is by Bonnie Gordon.
Hooray! Happy birthday, Bonnie!
Happy birthday, Bonnie. Birthday. Yesterday was Bonnie's birthday. All right. Let's get out of here. Steve Goodie is at stevegoodie.com. Joe J. Thomas is at joesdump.com. Now let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and then Steve was here, and Joe J. Thomas.
And the lag is amazing.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
"What happened to the water, the water, the water? What happened to the water, the water's so wet?"